Hi, I'm Natalie. Thanks so much for joining tonight's All Levels Vinyasa Flow class. Sorry for this slight delay, just had a slight little glitch getting in today. We're going to focus on some shoulder stability today, kind of building up towards side plank on the forearms. So we'll kind of work towards that and just finding different exercises that help to build some stability through the shoulder. I'll teach without any props, but if you would like to have a block or a strap nearby, you're welcome to use them. All right, we'll get started lying down, and let's start with the soles of the feet on the mat as wide as the mat, letting the knees come to touch at center. Arms can either be in goalpost or by your side. Just taking a moment to settle. And feet can always be wider than the mat if you can keep like equal weight on the inner and outer arches of your feet. And as you transition to your mat, just noticing how your body is feeling, noticing any tension and tightness, or where you may feel more open and more of a release. And starting to send your focus to your breath, letting inhales and exhales be equal in length. And as you inhale, feeling the front side body expand, taking up space. And as you exhale, letting the back side body release a little bit deeper on your mat. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath just like that. Inhaling, belly, ribs, and chest. Pausing. And let it be a slow, long, open mouth exhale to release. Inhale to fill up space. And exhale, let it go. Noticing any thoughts that may be coming into your mind. Acknowledging these thoughts as valid. And then just see if you can let them go. Knowing that you can return to them after practice. And we'll take another inhale and exhale. Letting the eyes flutter open if they closed. Just taking a few rounds of windshield, releasing the legs side to side. Rolling over the outer edge of one foot, inner edge of the other. Going nice and slow. And also releasing through the lower back with this rotational movement. Coming back through center. Just gently pausing there. Maybe heel toeing your feet to about hips width distance. And just releasing your arms by your side. Okay, so engage the core enough that the lower back really presses down. So you might notice there's like a slight arch, a little bit of space between the lower back and your mat. Belly button to the spine to kind of press like you're squeezing a grape onto your mat with the lower back, right? So the ribs are hugging in, arms by your side, thumbs face up. And then reach your arms up and overhead and let your shoulders lift towards your ears. And just notice how close your thumbs are, perhaps to the floor behind you. Maybe they're touching, right? Without really bending the elbows. So this is shoulder flexion here, range of motion here. Really lifting through the shoulders. Rooting the lower back down. And let's take another inhale. And then on the exhale, reaching the arms up and over, and hugging your knees into your chest. Let's take 3 sacrum circles in each direction, really releasing through the lower back. So 3 circles clockwise. And 3 circles counterclockwise. And then gently bringing your knees back to center. Option to either roll over to one side to come up to seated, kind of to take a traditional roll up, or for a little bit of core work, elbows to the thighs. See if you can keep them glued together as you like rock up and pause. Boat pose. Modified variation of boat pose each time you rock up into your seated posture. Really nice. All right. Let's take a few shoulder circles, just gently releasing either one at a time, right, or maybe both at the same time. And if you're doing one at a time, letting the right shoulder relax down the back, left arm follows. And with the fingertips down, let's take cat-cow from here. And so inhale, shoulder blades draw together, gaze is lifting. And exhale, chin to the chest, doming the back, C-curve in the spine. And so it can either be like a forward-backward movement or a little bit more circular as you lean forward, chin to the chest, rolling up. Kind of like a circle that's moving in front of you, like an oval. Right? Let's take one more. Kind of in whichever variation you're taking them, either forward, backwards, or maybe the more circular. And then coming to your neutral spine with the fingertips where they are, just tucking the chin into the chest, doming the upper back. Nice stretch through the traps. And taking another inhale and exhale. Gently lifting your chin off your chest, we'll make our way to table, either rolling over your ankles or shifting your weight to one side and coming into table. All right, so from here, let's lower the left forearm down onto the mat. So the elbow is pretty much under your shoulder. Bring the back of the right hand to the lower back here. And we'll take the rotations from here. There won't be as much space, but it's good stability work in the shoulder and thoracic spine. All right. So inhale, rotating open. Exhale, back to parallel. Two more like that. Inhaling. Keep pressing to the left forearm so you're not dumping into the shoulder. Exhale to parallel. Release the right forearm down. Okay, now notice if you're starting to like dump into the shoulders, really press into the right forearm, back of the left hand to the lower back. Same thing, so inhale, rotating open. Exhale, center, neutral. I'm just noticing if one side feels like there might be more mobility than the other, that's pretty much expected. Inhale, rotating open. And exhale to neutral. And let's bring the left forearm to meet the right. Let's just take two cat-cow from here, right? If you ever have a bunch of wrist pain, you can always take cat-cow from the forearms here. So just slightly different range of motion, right? Shoulder blades squeeze together, tailbone lifts, gaze left, cow. Chin to chest, dome the back, really press into the forearms. You get a slightly deeper cat. One more like that. Inhaling. And exhaling. Coming back into your neutral spine, into the palms of the hands, big toes touch, knees match with distance, hips to heels. And we'll take praying mantis, version of wide-legged child's pose. Palms touch, elbows bend, hands to the back of the head. Right, like you're really zipping your elbows in towards your ears. And releasing your weight back and down. And taking another inhale. And exhale. And from here, tuck the toes under as you're ready. And lifting the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Just taking a couple rounds of breath in down dog. Pedaling the feet. And lifting the heels, lowering them down. And taking any movement that feels good in your body. And then allowing yourself to settle into down dog, right? Maybe already with this shoulder work, when you come back onto the palms, it feels a little more spacious, right? Letting the chest drop back to your thighs. And taking another inhale and exhale. From down dog, inhale, gaze forward. And on the exhale, slowly walking your feet to meet your hands, forward fold at the top of the mat. And from the top of the mat, let's rotate the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Hands to the shins, lengthening through the legs and the spine. Kind of shifting the weight forward. Taking another inhale and exhale. Deep bend in the knees, chin to the chest, dome the back, and take a controlled roll up to Tadasana. Okay, before we take those shoulder circles, a little exercise to really work into the shoulders. Okay, so let's bring the arms to goalpost. See if you can keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, and then you're rotating so that the palms face you and elbows kind of click together, right? So my palms are facing me. This is called reading a book, essentially. And then just take these little pulses, lifting and lowering, right? You can almost imagine doing this from your forearm plank, shifting forward and backwards, which we'll do later, right? Just little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really nice. Bringing the arms to goalpost, elbows draw in, and then release the arms down. Okay, full range of motion. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more just like that. Inhale, arms rise. And on the exhale, hands pause at heart center. Maybe closing your eyes or lowering your gaze. And taking this moment to set your intention for practice. And something to return to throughout class. Maybe something to take off the mat and into the week with you. Gently fluttering the eyes opened if they closed. See if you can keep the palms together as you inhale, arms rise, hug the ribs in. Exhale, hinge at the hips to fold. On your inhale, take a big step back with the right foot. Exhale, rising right up to your high lunge. Inhale, left hand to the right forearm. Exhale, reaching up and over to the left. So really stretching out through the right side body. Inhale through center. Exhale, hands frame your left foot. Inhale, left foot meets the right. And then exhale, let's lower the knees. Keep the toes tucked under. Okay, we've been here before. Lower to the forearms. Actively press your forearms into the mat so much, right? So it's like cat pose in the upper back. And then see if you can lift the knees to hover off the mat like 2 inches for 5, 4, 3, really dome the back, 2, and 1. Lower the knees, really nice. Step the right leg back, step the left leg back, lower the knees again, untuck the toes, lower the hips. And we'll pause in Sphinx pose a little bit longer the next time. A little shoulder exercise here. Okay, so now you can kind of feel what it's like to have both arms down, right? Weight is equally distributed. See if you can shift the weight into the left forearm and like actively press the left forearm down into the mat so much that you can walk the right fingertips out to about 1 o'clock when you're on the fingertips. And then engage the core so much that maybe your stomach keeps lifting off the mat, protecting the lower back. Belly button to the spine. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift the right arm for 3. So a lot. Keep pressing to the left forearm. 2, or beyond the fingertips. And 1. Right forearm meets the left. It makes the 2 arms feel like a cakewalk or something, right? Okay, second side. Really press into the right forearm. Pause, kind of get situated. And then see if you can bring the left fingertips out to about 11 o'clock. Notice what the core is doing. Your belly button to the spine. And then maybe you lift the left arm for 3, 2, 1. Really nice. Coming back to center. Hands come under your shoulders. Tuck the toes under. We'll pass through table to puppy pose, lifting the hips up and back. As you walk the hands forward, chin is reaching for the mat, gaze is just slightly forward. Taking another inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Right? And taking a couple rounds of breath in down dog, gaze towards the thighs. One more inhale and exhale. On your inhale, gaze forward. And then on the exhale, really control the walk forward. So the hips are lifting as you, it's kind of like a hip hike. As you maybe keep the legs pretty straight, shifting the weight from the toes to the hands, forward fold at the top of the mat, and then kind of keep going with that hip hike, right? So you're bending into one knee, which hikes the other hip, stretching through the outer hips. Okay, nice deep bend in the knees, chin to the chest, dome the back, control the roll up, and then keep rolling up, palms touch, praying mantis from standing, elbows bend, hands to the back of the head, right? Hug the ribs in, lift through the elbows, and let the head press back into your pinky fingers and your thumbs. And maybe you engage your glutes even more, and this turns into a gentle back bend because your hip flexors are starting to open a little bit deeper as well. Really nice. Inhale, arms rise. And then on the exhale, hands trace the center line to forward fold. Inhale, stepping back with the left foot. Exhale, rising up, stacking for your high lunge, active arms. Inhale, right hand to the left forearm. Exhale, arms reach up and over. And releasing, inhale through center. Exhale, hands frame your right foot. Inhale, right foot meets the left. Exhale, lower to the knees, keep the toes tucked under. And so option to work where we just were from your forearms, right? Hovering the knees and then lowering them back down. Or step the right leg back, step the left leg back, and pause in forearm plank. Really press into the forearms, hips are low. So you can stay here or take those same kind of slides forward and backward. For 3, 2, and 1. Take an inhale, exhale, lower to the knees, untuck the toes, lower the hips. And we'll pause in Sphinx. And to protect the lower back here, belly button to the spine, core engages, shoulder blades draw together, and chest is drawing forward. Kind of working the back bend into the entire spine, not just dumping everything into the lower back. And taking another inhale and exhale. And palms plant under the shoulders, toes tuck under. Option to press straight up into your plank, which I'm not going to do tonight, or kind of press back through puppy pose. Hips are lifting, pressing into the palms, stretching to the side body a little bit deeper. And then as you're ready, coming into downward facing dog. And the shoulders are still kind of lifting towards the ears in down dog, right? So they're elevating. Let's take another inhale and exhale. Inhale, gaze forward, and on the exhale, slowly walking your feet to meet your hands, coming to forward fold at the top of the mat. Okay, let's rotate the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And then interlace your hands behind your back. Let's really lift your fist towards the ceiling, straight legs, straight spine. Keep shifting forward. And on your inhale, halfway lift, press the fist back. And exhale, rising up, gentle back bend, glutes engaged, chest forward, shoulder blades squeeze together as the gaze is lifting. And we'll take an inhale, exhale, release your hands, coming into neutral. Really nice. Okay, kind of doing this like apple picking exercise, but just with the arms this time. Okay, reaching for an apple that's just out of reach, and then maybe you can grab it because the shoulder is lifting towards the ear so much. Right? Maybe you kind of over exaggerate the side body, right? And take kind of a standing banana pose, yin yoga pose, lying down on the mat. So you're arching to the side, the arm is lifting. And it's essentially a lat pull down, right? What you're doing with the arms. Lifting through the shoulders. Let's do one more each side. That might feel really nice. Inhaling and exhaling to center. Really nice, hands to heart center. On your inhale, hug the right knee in, flex the foot. And then exhale, see how soft and silent you can land. In high lunge. Active arms, shoulders lift. Imagining the apples are just overhead, right? You're reaching for them. Inhale, lift up and out of the left hip. Exhale, warrior two. Left heel intersects the arch of the right foot. Active palms like you're pressing down on the countertop. Let's take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach, get length. Exhale, triangle. Micro bend in that left knee so you're not locking the joint. And maybe staying here, or as we did earlier, bring the back of the right hand to the lower back and rotate the chest open. So you're pressing the back of the hand into the lower left part of your back. See how long you can make the left side body. Taking another inhale and exhale. Let's bend into the left knee. Hands cartwheel down, releasing the right hand, frame the left foot. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Step the left foot to meet the right. And then lower the knees. Untuck the toes. Okay, kind of a funky transition. Swing both legs to the left. And then release the left hip down onto the mat. So you're kind of in this like mermaid seat. And then lower the left forearm. Right fingers are like a kickstand, straighten the right legs. Notice how you want to dip right away into the shoulder. Actively press into the left forearms and see how much of your side body you can kind of lift off the mat here. Right, if this is going well, lift the left or the right leg. If that's going well, you can lift the right arm. Keep pressing into the left forearm for 3, 2, and 1. Release the right leg. Release the right hand. Gently rolling onto the mat. Left hand comes under the left shoulder. Make your way through a vinyasa from here. So maybe you're inhaling, lifting to up dog, and then exhale, flowing through. You can also press up to plank and then make your way through chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Just taking 3 rounds of breath here. Letting inhales and exhales be equal in length. 1 more inhale and exhale. Okay, from down dog, let's take an inhale, exhale, shift to plank. Inhale, down dog, exhale, shift. 1 more like that. Inhale, exhale, pause. Lower the knees, keep the toes tucked under, and we'll stack for dolphin. So you can have the forearms on the mat or interlace the hands. Really pressing the forearms down onto the mat. Really, so you already start to feel the engagement in the pectorals right in the shoulder crease. Maybe you stay here and you still work the lifting the knees and lowering, right? That's a lot of work. Otherwise, maybe hips lift at the same time, but you're pressing into your forearms so much that the top of your head is nowhere near the mat. Right? And if that's going well, walk your toes in towards your elbows a little bit. But really press, 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 press. right? And the head should be nowhere near the floor. And let's take another inhale and exhale. Gently lower the knees, untuck the toes. Let's bring the palms of the hands on the mat and just pass through a wide-legged child's pose, hips to heels. That should feel nice. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. And from down dog, inhale, gaze forward. And on your exhale, gently walking your feet to meet your hands. Forward fold at the top of the mat. All right, let's take a nice deep bend in the knees, chin to the chest, dome your back, and take a really slow roll up, letting the knees be bent until you find yourself in Tadasana with the top of the head lifted. Really nice. Okay, from Tadasana, let's just kind of release through the lower back here. Bringing the arms to goal pose, try to keep the hips facing forward. Just taking a few of these cactus twists, right? Try not to let the hips be involved, so it's more through the thoracic spine. Nice gentle rotation. Maybe this feels good. You can also try it with the arms straight. You might notice that you get a little bit of a deeper twist that way. It's like you're creating your own wind, hence windmill. One more each time. And then just coming back through center, relaxing the arms down, just rotating shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Really nice. All right. On your inhale, arms rise, lift through the shoulders. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, zip the left leg up. And then really control the step back, going for a silent landing. Inhale, arms rise. On the exhale, lifting up and out of your right hip, coming into warrior two. I think you're pressing the outer right side towards the back edge of the mat. Palms are active, face down. We'll take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach, getting length. Exhale, triangle, keeping that micro bend in the right knee. And an option to stay here or back of your left hand comes to the lower back, and then really rotate the chest open, right? The entire back is flat against the wall behind you. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, left arm sweeps up and overhead, hands frame the right foot, bending into the knee, coming onto the ball of the left foot. Inhale, right foot meets the left. Exhale, lower to the knees, untuck the toes. Okay, this time you're swinging both feet to the right, both feet to the right, and then you're lowering your right hip, kind of sits bone down. Right forearm, right, pretty much stacking elbow and shoulder. And then we'll straighten the legs. Stacking the legs, you're in a nice straight line, right? Notice if you want to start dipping into the shoulder, which is common, really press into the forearm. Right? Again, just notice kind of like wrapping and lifting the side body. If that's going well. Notice if the right shoulder is starting to turn in, try not to let it, so it's pretty kind of in neutral and it's a press up, not a rotation in, right? Maybe you lift the left leg. Maybe you lift the left arm. Keep pressing for 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower the left leg, lower the left hand, gently rotating onto your hips. Both hands are under your shoulders. This time let's take 3 rounds of baby cobra. Inhaling and exhale. Let it be flowy, a nice release. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more like that. Inhale, wide-legged child's pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath in down dog. And taking what you need. 1 more inhale and exhale. Okay, this time on your inhale, roll forward to plank, pause, lower the knees, untuck your toes. We're gonna take dolphin dives this time. So you can either, actually, always an option, you can either stay here, practice lifting and lowering the knees. You can come into dolphin, or if you'd like to take those dolphin dives, it's sort of like the shift forward and back. So you're shifting forward kind of into a forearm plank and then hiking your hips. Shift and lift. Woo. For 3, 2, and 1. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower the knees. Those really get you. Untuck the toes, just kind of pound the feet out. Let that go. Okay, coming back onto your palms. Big toes touch, knees mat width, moving through your wide-legged child's pose to downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, gaze forward. On your exhale, gently walking your feet to meet your hands. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Let's get a nice release here. Let's heel toe the feet as wide as the mat, turning the toes slightly out. And just swaying side to side, releasing the lower back, outer hips. And coming back through center, let's heel toe the feet to hips width distance. Hands to the hips, elbows squeeze towards each other. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, rising up. Okay, just a little back strengthening exercise for fun, really, because it's nice to strengthen through the back. That was a little metaphor or a segue into what we're doing, not metaphor. Okay, and release the hands behind your head, or you can just kind of stack your hands. Feet can be hips width or slightly wider. On the inhale, lower halfway. Exhale, squeeze the elbows towards each other under your face. And then inhale, squeeze the elbows towards each other behind you. Exhale, zip it up. Let's do 2 more like that. And spine is nice and straight and neutral. Inhale to goal post. Exhale, elbows by the side. And then gently releasing the arms. Really nice. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, hinge and fold. And on the inhale, let's just take a big step back with the right foot and then pause here. Let's just take 3 hamstring pulses. So straightening through the left leg, maybe flexing the toes off the mat. Exhale, bend and release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, straightening through the left leg. Pivot to the side of your mat for wide-legged forward fold. You can either take kind of the down dog variation, walking the hands forward, or maybe your hands are in line with your toes. Another inhale and exhale. Well, now walking the fingers in line with the toes, and we'll keep pivoting to the back of the mat just for a moment. Pivot, pivot, pivot to low lunge. Hands frame the right foot. Bit of a release, working to the hamstring. So straightening through the right leg, maybe flex the toes off the mat. Exhale, bend and release. 2 more like that. Inhaling and exhale. Okay, we're gonna pivot. Right, kind of keep going through your wide-legged forward fold to the top of the mat. Hands frame the left foot. Inhale, left foot meets the right. Exhale, lower to the knees. Toes untuck. Swing your feet to the left, and then gently lower your left hip down. Right, here we go again. Left forearm. Notice if the shoulder wants to rotate in, try to release it kind of back and down. Right, and then legs straighten. Okay. Side body's lifting. Maybe you stay right here, right? Maybe you lift the right leg. This is all going well. You can use the right fingertips as a kickstand, kind of. You can also place the sole of the right foot down. Inhale, lift the left hip. Exhale, lower. So the right foot also helps to stabilize. And practice lifting and lowering, right? You can do that without the leg down. And if all that is feeling really good, then maybe you take your forearm side plank, right? Today, I like this exercise. So these are all just different stages to get there. Right? The purpose of this class isn't to get into like a perfect side plank from the forearms. It's more like to figure out, okay, how's my shoulder doing? What exercises are working well that I can work up to? And then knowing what comes next, right? Okay, this transition's a lot easier. So gently lowering down, right forearm coming onto your back. Before we do the second side, stack the palms, let the forehead rest, bend the knees. Just take a couple rounds of windshield. And letting that go. Okay. And from here, lifting up. Right forearm is down. Left fingertips for your kickstand. Rolling over to the right hip. I'm just going to switch sides so that you can see me. Right, so legs are nice and straight. Right forearm is down. Notice what the shoulder is doing, lifting up. Left hand can be your kickstand, right? Maybe you stay right here and hold. Right? Really lift, 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 lift the side body off the mat. Maybe you place the left foot and lift the right hip and lower down. Lift and lower. You can also get really good inner thigh work by lifting the inner leg, essentially, right? But we're here today. And so maybe working there. My right finger is funky, so I'm not going to go all the way up, but maybe you lift up into your forearm side plank, right? And taking another inhale, exhale, release. Left hand comes down. If you lifted the leg, lower it. If you were here, come back to here. And gently coming onto your back or onto your belly, hands under your shoulders. Inhale, gently lift into puppy, kind of an extended puppy. Exhale, lowering down, pressing through your wide-legged child's pose to downward facing dog. Really nice. We kind of went a little bit slower today, which usually means stronger, working into a lot of stability work. Okay, from your down dog, let's take 3 full rounds of open mouth exhales. See what you can let go of each time. One more just like that. Letting it go in your wide-legged child's pose. And calling into your mind the intention that you set at the beginning of practice, and thanking yourself for showing up and for taking this time for you. And then gently walking your hands to the upper right corner of the mat. Hip shift to the left, and the hands can be off the mat if that feels okay. And you're actively pressing the left palm down to kind of arch a little bit deeper through the left side body. And gently walking hands and hips through center. Hands to the left, hips to the right. Really pressing to the right palm. And that way the shoulders don't kind of rotate up and you get that deep stretch through the entire side body into the lower back. It's your quadriceps lumboris muscle, lower right. You might feel a little release there as well. Hands and hips to center. And then gently walking your hands to meet the knees. Bringing the knees to touch at center. And shifting the weight to one side and coming into a seated posture. Really nice. Okay, we'll take a kind of a variation of cow face arms. Right arm is reaching up and overhead and palm face down on your shoulder blade. Try to lift the elbow up, not out. And then same thing here, the back of the left hand is pressing into the lower back. And so the right palm and the back of the left hand are pressing to the back to really open. And shoulder flexion, the right arm, and a nice deep internal rotation with the left arm. Trying to sit up nice and tall. Notice if you're tucking your chin, try to keep your chin parallel. And then release the right arm and then the left. And then just kind of rotate the arms through eagle, right? Kind of taking this big windmill action. You might notice the back of the hands touch at center. Just feeling a nice release. Let's take that one more time. And then releasing the arms, left arm is up and over, left palm to the left shoulder blade, back of the right hand to the lower part of the back. Right? Really lifting through the shoulder, elbow towards the ceiling, try not to arch the back too much. Sitting up tall though. And let's take an inhale and exhale. Gently unwinding the arms. This time we will take eagle arms. So the right arm is on top of the left, chin to chest, dome the back, getting a nice stretch through the backside body. Gently lifting back up to center. We'll switch the arms and just take it one more time, balancing out. Chin to chest, dome the back, nice big C curve, lower middle, upper back. And gently coming through center and releasing the arms. Really nice. Coming to the top half of the mat, soles of the feet down, arms frame the legs, C curve in the spine. Slowly lower all the way down. Once you've lowered down, left knee towards the left shoulder, right knee towards the right. Just pausing here for a moment, getting a nice stretch through the inner thighs. And the option to stay here, which is a different orientation of butterfly essentially. So option to stay here or happy baby, catching outer edges of the feet. Ankles, big toes, maybe swaying side to side if that feels like a nice release through the lower back. And then gently coming back to center, and drawing the knees together. Okay, similar action to that windmill with the arms, we'll do with the legs, right, progressively. So stacking right knee over left. It's kind of cow face legs or reclined shoelace, hands catch outside, opposite ankles or shins. And trying to draw the feet farther and farther apart from each other. And then release the hands, moving through that windmill kick. Next time left leg is over the right, pause. Same thing, catching opposite ankles. And then gently releasing your hands, releasing the left leg, hugging your knees into your chest. Okay, flexing your feet, arms are by the side, palms face down. Right, taking this like unicycle variation of legs up the wall. Kind of leading with your heel. And then eventually Bringing both legs to lift. And just pausing here, maybe closing your eyes. And just taking a couple runs of breath. Okay. Gently fluttering the eyes open if they closed. And we'll take an inhale, and an 8 count exhale to lower the legs for fish. Matsyasana. Core is engaged, lower back rooted down. Let's take an inhale, exhale, lower 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Heels lower down. And then coming up to your forearms. So essentially this is like the opposite of Sphinx pose, right? Really press into the forearms, feeling the chest broaden, toes point. And then option to keep the chin tucked in or really open up through the throat, let the head release back. 3 rounds, open mouth exhales. Gently tucking your chin into your chest. Kind of sliding back to lower down. Really nice. Let's hug the knees in. Give yourself a tight squeeze. Then place the feet back on the mat. Okay, so we're going to do that little check at the end of class compared to the start. Lower back is rooting down because your core is activated. Thumbs face up, arms reach up and overhead. And maybe you notice it's a little bit easier to get your thumbs onto the mat or at least a lot closer to the mat without bending the elbows to do that, right? Really lifting through the shoulders. And then on the inhale, arms rise. And exhale, knees hug in. Really nice. Okay, we'll take supine twist to Shavasana. And we'll goalpost the arms. Inhale, hip shift to the right. Exhale, knees release to the left. Gaze is over the right shoulder. Just letting everything melt down. Letting go of any muscular energy here. And then gently sending your gaze to the ceiling. And lifting the right leg and then the left. And spine resets to neutral. And then inhale, hips to the left. Exhale, knees release to the right. And gazing over the left shoulder. And it'll just feel like a nice release through the lower back. And gently bringing your gaze back to the ceiling. Left leg lifts and then the right. Spine resets to neutral. And then using your hands to draw your knees into your chest. Turning yourself into a tight ball. Maybe shoulders, neck, and head lift off the mat. As you inhale. And on the exhale, letting everything go. And taking up as much space as possible on your mat. And as you settle in, on your inhale, feeling the front side body expand, taking up space. And on the exhale, letting the back side body release a little bit deeper on your mat. And slowly starting to come back into the space, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. Maybe it feels good to reach your arms overhead. This time, letting the lower back arch off the mat, giving yourself a full body stretch. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed for the rest of practice as you gently relax your arms down by your side, making your way onto the right side body, and pausing in the seat of full potential. And gently coming into a comfortable seated posture on the mat. With closed eyes, the gaze is slightly forward and down, letting the shoulders rotate forward, up, back, and down. Spine is long, chest is broad. And then gently bringing the palms to touch at heart center. And in this moment of stillness, calling into your mind a quality about yourself that you really value. And completing the sentence and saying it to yourself 3 times. I am. And together, let's seal this practice with 3 rounds of breath, and letting them be open mouth exhales each time. Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. And questions, comments, and feedback are welcome. And I know we are working to transition to meetings as a platform, so I'm working on getting there. But for now, staying on YouTube until further notice. All right. I hope that was a nice transition into your evening. Have a good one.